Hi, I'm John from PGP Wedding Films, and welcome to Say Yes to the Best, where we talk to the best wedding pros to give you wedding planning advice. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. We have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. So today I am talking with a wedding pro, but I'm also talking to a wedding pro who is engaged and currently going through the process of planning her wedding. Ashlee from Ashlee Emerson Photography. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for being on the show. And I always love when I find another pro who is engaged, because I think it's just such a different perspective because, one, I'm always talking to other people and we're always talking about things from the lens of we're wedding vendors. But I think you have probably a really unique perspective because both you're a vendor and you're seeing the other side of it right now. But just to kind of start off, if you want to tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yeah, so I have been a wedding photographer for the last 5 years. I specialize in natural light and airy portraits. I travel all over the United States. So I'm just down to be your biggest hype girl and pop some champagne with you.
How long have you been engaged, and I guess how long were you doing photography before you got engaged?
So I've been engaged for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in September. And I was doing photography for about 3 years prior to that.
So did you have any expectations about what wedding planning would be like going into it?
I thought it would be a lot easier since I'm in the industry, and it was not. It was a lot harder, I feel like, because I know all the ins and outs and what to do, what not to do, what I wanted, what I didn't want, what vendors I wanted, what I didn't want in a venue. We looked at like 30 plus venues. We didn't go to like all of them, but looking online. So I think finding our venue is the hardest part.
You mentioned it's been a little bit more than you were expecting. How has the process overall been, throughout your time being engaged?
It's been a lot. I mean, trying to, I work full-time still. So like working full-time, planning a wedding. I was going to school at that time. I graduated, and then buying a house, getting 2 dogs, all that fun stuff. So it's been a little bit of a whirlwind, but we're working through it.
So has there been anything that's kind of surprised you that's been either, good or bad along the way that you weren't anticipating?
Everyone has opinions, and you just have to realize that it's your wedding, like you and your significant other. So it's about you and what you guys want, not what everyone else wants. It's not, a day where you need to please everyone else. I'm a big people pleaser. Unfortunately, it's not, my best quality, but hey, we have it. So you have to, realize that, hey, it's about you and what you want. So if you want pink bridesmaid dresses and no one else feels like they like that color, well, it's your wedding and you get to pick what you want.
As a wedding photographer, how has that kind of colored your experience as you've been planning?
I feel like it makes me closer with the brides that I have. They all have like the giant Facebook bride groups that you can be a part of, but I created one just for my specific brides. So it's definitely made us all a little bit closer. And I just feel like it gives me a connection better with my couples because I can relate to what they're going through.
What has been your favorite part of wedding planning so far?
Tasting all the food. That's the best part.
Absolutely. What has been the most challenging part?
Kind of just coordinating everything. Like there's a lot that you don't think of, like table numbers and seating charts. I haven't even tackled that one. Whew, not looking forward to that. I know everyone hates that. Picking colors, making sure it all looks good together. Everything.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given about planning your wedding?
Probably the whole, make sure you're making it about you type of thing, because it is overwhelming. And again, so many people have opinions, but everyone's always like, it's your wedding. Make sure it's what you want, not what everyone else wants. So, that is the best piece of advice I've gotten.
Is there one piece of advice that you could give to other couples who are engaged, kind of from, you're engaged, but also a vendor? What would you recommend to other people?
Take your time. Don't rush it. Everyone feels like, getting married in 6 months to a year is, what you have to do. We had a 2-year engagement. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you're engaged for 5 years, perfect. It gives you more time to save, more time to plan, get exactly what you want. So definitely take your time. Don't rush it.
Now, were you always going to be a 2-year engagement, or was it COVID related?
So we got engaged in 2019, and it just so happened my 2020 wedding calendar was completely booked. So I didn't want to have to like squeeze my wedding in between all my other weddings and then be stressed about that. So it was always a 2-year wedding. And thankfully we booked it that way, because if not, we would have been at the courthouse, because I don't think I could have replanned my day 6 times. God bless my brides who have done that, because they have all the power. More power to them.
Has COVID caused any additional challenges for you while you've been planning?
Not for me, because I booked everything primarily before COVID started. Thankfully, because we got engaged months before COVID, thankfully. So I had all of our vendors picked out, all of our deposits paid, and we kind of were just winging it at that point, hoping that the world opened up again, and it kind of did. So I'm hoping it stays where we're at, or if not better.
Is there anything else that you think would be helpful to people that you've kind of experienced?
Make sure you get your rings cleaned before your wedding day, and your engagement photos. I personally have a ring cleaner stick with me at all times. I don't know if you do as well. I got one on Amazon. I actually give it to all my brides as like a wedding gift the day of their wedding. Super helpful. It makes sure your ring's all nice and shiny and it looks great. Definitely eat something the morning of your wedding. That's a big one, because otherwise you're going to be starving. Oh, another piece of advice I got in that I totally forgot about. Make sure you schedule time in your wedding day for just you and your new husband or new wife, because you barely see them on your wedding, which is crazy because you just married them and you're going to be spending forever with them, but you barely spend time with them.
No, I'm with you 100% on that. Like, you don't think about it, but the amount of time that you're alone is really, really not that much on your wedding day. So make time for it. It's worth it.
Yeah, and if your photographer or videographer suggests sunset photos, take them. Go. Get away from everyone.
Not just because it's beautiful, we do it for you.
Yeah, literally, just get away. Take 5. Oh, have your caterer pack you a plate before they're like done serving food, because you will not touch the food that they gave you. Take it home, take it to the hotel, wherever. Eat it at 11 o'clock at night. You'll be so happy.
Well, Ashlee, thank you so much for being on the show and for kind of giving us both of your perspectives as photographer and upcoming bride.
Absolutely. It was great talking to you.
So Ashlee Emerson Photography, all of her information is going to be below, including her Instagram, which I'm guessing will probably have a few wedding photos on there if you want to see how it all turned out. As I mentioned before, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, follow us here on YouTube as well. We have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. Thank you and happy planning.